Last example is a bit bigger one, but that's all right. This one is, this is like example 10 from page 284. It says Tuba Stuff Incorporated can set up production of tube of eggs for $3,000, and then every 100 cases of tube of eggs will cost $1,000. The cases are sold to distributors for $25 each, and the distributor places an order for 1,500 cases. So to determine the cost of production, where N is the number of cases manufactured. So we know that it's going to cost, every 100 cases cost $1,000. So our cost to make them is going to be $1,000 divided by 100 cases. Gives us that it's $10 per case, right? And then it's just the startup production is an extra $3,000. So our C of N, C of N is going to equal the $10 times the number of cases, so that would be N, plus the $3,000 startup. So that's our cost to manufacture. Okay, the revenue function is what you take in for selling those. So that one's a lot nicer. That is R of N is just, you make $25 for each case that you sell. So that's going to be 25N. So those are our two equations there. Now it says to graph these two on the same set of axes. So let's graph our cost in red. Alright, so let's move this up so we can see it better. So down here, let's see, this is going to be our cost. This is going to be our cost in thousands. And then this is going to be the cases produced, and that's in hundreds. Oops, sorry about that. All right, so to graph this thing, it's probably going to be easiest to make, just to make a T-chart so we can get some good data going on here. So this will be our cost function over here, so N, and then our cost function is 10N plus 3,000. Okay, so this is cases produced in hundreds, so let's do 0 cases, and then this 5 actually stands for 500, so let's do 500, maybe 1,000, and 1,500, and see what we get. Okay, so you plug in the 0 there, and that gives us 0 plus 3,000 is 3,000. 10 times 5, because we're going to plug 500 in for that, that's going to give us 5,000 plus another 3,000 gives us 8,000. 10 times 1,000 is 10,000 plus 3,000 is 13,000. Right, and then 15 times 10 is 15,000 plus 3,000 is 18,000. Okay, so now we have 4 pieces of data that we can graph there. So 0, we're at 3,000. 500 cases, we are at 8,000. 1,000 cases, we are at 13,000. And then at 1,500 cases, we are at 18,000. Oops, wrong spot. There we go. 18,000. Okay, so that makes a nice straight line. Let's see how well I can do this on here. Not super great, but you get the idea. Let's do this other one here, and I guess let's do it in purple, I suppose, something that'll show up. So revenue is going to be this one here in purple, and that's going to be 25N. So let's do the same numbers here. So 0, 500 cases, 1,000 cases, this is what we're taking in, and 1,500 cases. Oops. So plug in 0, you don't sell any cases, you don't make any money. You plug in 500, 500 times 25 gives us 12,500. So if you sell 500 cases, you're going to make $12,500 off of those cases. Well, that's the money that you're going to take in. That's the revenue. And then 1,000 is going to be 25,000. And then 1,500 times 25 is going to give us 37,500. Okay, so we graph all those. And let's see, we're at 0, 0. And then we are at 500, we are at 12,500, so we are up here. At 1,000, we are up at 25. And at 15, we're up at 3750. It's not right there. So again, this should make a nice straight line, which that is not. But again, you get the idea. It looks like it's supposed to probably cross right about in there. So here's our intersection point of those two. So we've graphed them, and then there's just a couple more questions down here that we can answer fairly quickly. How many cases of tube of eggs must be produced to break even? So that right there shows us that we need 250 cases. Right? And then calculate the profit made on producing 800 cases. Let's just skip the 1,500 cases just because we're getting kind of long here. So if we produce 800 cases, the profit made is going to be the income minus the, sorry, not the, yeah, the revenue minus the cost, right? So we can simply do, let's go back up here so we can see our functions. There they are. So we can do, our cost is going to be 10 times 800 plus 3,000, and this is all counting against us, so that's going to be negative, and then we're going to add 25 times our 800, right? Because that's how much we're taking in. So if we do that, let's see, this is negative 8,000. What is that? Oh, 800. Yeah, so that's negative 8,000 plus, sorry, that's 8,000 plus 3,000 is, this is a negative $11,000. So that's how much it costs to produce it. And then 25 times 800 is 20,000. So it gives us a total net of, you're going to make $9,000 if you sell that many. All right, that does it for that. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Thanks.